Meanwhile, in North Korea, Kim Jong Un still hasn't been seen in public. He was absent from an April 15th event, North Korea's most important holiday, marking his grandfather's birth anniversary, and it has fueled speculation about his health.
A pundit claimed in her WeChat account that Mr. Kim was dead. Others speculated that Mr. Kim was in critical or stable condition after heart bypass surgery. But South Korea said this week that Mr. Kim is alive and well. Let's take this discussion further with Global Affairs correspondent for the Straits Times, Benjamin Kang Lim. Hi, Ben. Now, Ben, out of all these theories surrounding Kim's whereabouts, which sounds the most likely?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. But Kim Jong Un, I think, logically speaking, I think the theory that the Straits Times published today about his disappearing act, that he's fine, but then he just disappeared to justify his existence on the world stage. I think that theory may be the most plausible. He may be fine because the Straits Times talked to two sources. The first source at the outset said there was nothing wrong with Kim. And this was about around April 15, 16, 17. He told us, the source told the Straits Times that Kim was perfectly fine. But of course, we could not put out a story based on just this. And then recently, another source, a Chinese who was with ties to the Chinese leadership, a source with ties to the leadership, said that Mr. Kim actually just pulled this disappearing act because he was not happy with the way the rest of the world ignored him. Because the commemorations of his to mark his grandfather's birth anniversary was on the 15th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then on the 14th, actually, North Korea conducted missile tests, right? Firing missiles from a jet fighter. But then there was little reaction from the world because the world was busy handling the fighting the coronavirus. But right. This did not make him happy because he felt ignored, and so the next day he decided that he will just be absent from this celebrations, and of course the world went into a frenzy and started speculating. This is one theory that the Straits Times has heard, and I think this is the most logical because it also explains his motive for his disappearance.
Right. Well, Kim Jong Un is just 36 years old. So, Ben, what is known about the general health of this relatively young leader?
Yes. Of course, he is overweight, as we can see, and there are reports that he is a chain smoker, that he smokes too much, and that the family has a history of cardiovascular problems. But at his age, at 36, to have it's not uncommon, I wouldn't say, but it's rare for somebody of his age, and he has a team of. It's rare for somebody his age to have a heart attack or somebody who needs bypass, and he has a team of doctors, medical doctors, who advise him on his health. So it's not like he's just drinking and smoking every day. He, of course, listen to his doctors and listen to their advice.
All right. Now, Ben, there is also a North Korean activist who said on Twitter that Mr. Kim has gone into hiding because the coronavirus had exploded in North Korea. Do we know what is the COVID-19 situation in North Korea?
Right. North Korea is one of the most opaque, if not the most opaque countries in the world. And so we don't know what is happening with the COVID situation in North Korea. But then we have to take the activists' claims with a grain of salt, because the activists, I think, is anti-Pyongyang, and so he will say anything just to make North Korea look bad, make Kim look bad. But we do not know, we do not have a clear picture of the situation. Even diplomats, like some countries have diplomatic relations, not a lot, with the DPRK, including, for example, UK, India. And what I heard is that even the diplomats on the ground in North Korea do not know what the real situation is like.
Well, With Kim Jong Un's health status still unclear, who is his likely successor, Ben? His sister Kim Yo Jong, as well as his uncle Kim Pyong Il, those names have been bandied about.
Yes, both are possible. The sister is a bit young. The uncle was the ambassador to the Czech Republic for several years, for a long time, and he was recalled home last year. He is also a candidate, but of course, we should not forget Kim Jong Un's older brother. The eldest brother was died in Malaysia, was killed in Malaysia, and then you have the second brother who is also a candidate. But it's unclear at this juncture, if Kim is really dead or incapacitated, and it's unclear also who will take over.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Benjamin. That was Global Affairs correspondent for the Straits Times, Benjamin Kang Lim. The link to Ben's piece is in the description below if you're watching us on YouTube.